My name is Mrs. Ruth Alao, and I'll be taking you on the Nigerian educational system. Here we'll be looking at management, we'll be looking at the educational management system, we'll be looking at the scope of educational management. We'll also talk on administration, we'll talk on school administration. How does administration affect the school? That's the duties of school administration. Without taking your time, I will start with the term management. What is management? What does it entail? Management is a social process which is designed to ensure the cooperation, the participation, the intervention, and involvement of others in the effective achievement of a given objectives or a given goal. Management is associated to all industrial activities. It's not only in education. But management is also a process of planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and evaluating an objectives of an institution or an industry. We have different material resources under management. We have management as the act of science of getting work done with the help of other people within a given budget. Now let's look at educational management. But before we look at educational management, let's talk about education. What is education? Education is a series of learning experience to students in order to impact knowledge. The essence of every form of education is to impact knowledge, to impact values, to change the attitude of the people, to impact skills, with the aim of making them productive in their various fields. While educational management is concerned about the operation of the educational organization, that are schools, institutions, and all that. It also looks at the process of planning, organizing, and directing activities in a school in order to accomplish the school's objectives. Every institution has its own aims and objectives, what they intend to achieve, how they want the education to impact the students, how they want their students to behave in terms of values, attitudes, and skills. Now let's look at the general scope of educational management. Scope of educational management. The first one is that a scope generally is very wide, and it includes the history, the theories, and management of science, roles, and responsibilities of educational manager. Now, the scope of educational management also includes a study of educational planning at micro level. It also includes, or it looks into the goals, the principles, the methods, the procedures of achieving the educational objectives. It helps in decision making and solving problems. Before you start any institution, you have to bring out or write out the aim, the purpose, the objectives of the institution. Now, an institution can be a school, it can be a firm, it can be a program to impact knowledge. Understand? So the educational management scopes helps in making decisions and solving problems. Donald Clark defined management as the art and science of decision making and leadership. The management is not only attached to education, it's cut across all fields. Cooperation, in projects, it cut across so many fields. You understand? So in projects, you always look at bringing out or achieving the aim of the stakeholders. You understand? It looks at how a project manager can achieve the aim of of the stakeholders, the investors, the creditors, the suppliers, and all that. But here, education management look at how to achieve the objectives of the institution. It look at the roles, the responsibilities of the managerial skills needed to achieve the objectives of the school, the objectives of the institutions, and all that. Oh, the scope of educational management also cut across planning of curriculum, preparing of timetable, motivating staff and students, conducting staff meetings and managing conflict and stress, developing healthy and conducive school climate, organizing of health and physical education, organization of exhibitions and fairs, maintenance of school records, evaluating students' achievements, finances, and budgeting. All these scopes are the work of the school administrator. The school administrator is supposed to look at or have different skills in achieving the scope of the educational system or the objectives of the school itself. Now let's look at administration. What is administration? We've talked about management. We said management is the act and science of decision making. Now let's look at administration. It's a process of arranging and coordinating the human and material resources available to any organization. So administration also cut across any given organization. Understand how to achieve or arrange, coordinate the human and material resources. What are the human resources in an administration? We have the employees, they are the human resources. Now the material resources, they are available things on ground that is needed to achieve the goal of the organization. Now, when it is applied to a school system, it's also referred to as educational administration or school administration. They are the same thing. Educational administration or school administration. Administration generally is also refers to government business. You understand? It's always like a business. It occurs in every organization. And the basic aim of administration is the need to get things done. You understand? How to achieve the goals, the objectives of the organization. That's the aim of administration. Now, educational administration can be defined as the process of bringing men and material together for effective and functional teaching and learning in the school. Understand? Now, we made mention of administration as a government business, or it occurs in every organization, which is how you arrange, how you coordinate human and material resources to achieve the stipulated goals of the organization. But educational organization is bringing in or using men and materials together for effective and functional teaching and learning in the school. This particular field is a wide field because it cuts across so many things. Now, the focus of educational administration is to enhance the teaching and learning. That's the most important aim of educational administration. They look at how teaching can be done effectively, how it can be impacted, skills and method of impacting knowledge to the students, how the student can learn from even the environment. The educational system, the Nigerian educational system nowadays goes beyond what is being taught in the class. It also look at the box, as in it look at the community, the world at large. That's why it is paramount or very important for schools, students to go out for exhibition, to go out for fairs, to go out for programs that can enhance their skills, that can improve or be an eye opener to them. Now, we are on educational administration. We can also define it as a process through which the school administrator Who are the school administrator? You are talking of the principal, the vice principal, the head teacher, um, um, the proprietor, and the likes. That's in secondary schools and primary school. But when we talk about school administrator in tertiary institution, you are looking at the VC, the deputy director, the assistant VC, and everybody in that seat, in the management, those that are managing the school. They are the school administrator. So now the school administrator is there to arrange and coordinate the resources available to education for the purpose of achieving the goals of educational system. I mentioned earlier on that the goals of educational system is to impact knowledge and learning, to improve on teaching and learning in the school. So the school administrator, they are there to organize, to coordinate the available resources in order to achieve all these goals. Now, the term management can also be derived or is being derived from an Italian word, manegra, which means to train us or to undo. From the French aspect of it, it means manager. It means to economize, to manage an act of guiding or leading. It also means to undo, to direct, economically guide, and lead. Now let's go to school administrator. Who are the school administrator? What does a school administrator do? What are the duties of a school administrator? What are the qualities of a school administrator? School administrator oversees administrative tasks in the school. We have different forms of tasks in the school. We have the management, that's the administrator. We have the learning aspect, which has to do with the teachers and other things. Now, the school administrator will ensure that the organization runs smoothly, and they also manage facilities and staffs. They are not only managing the process of teaching, they're also managing the facilities and the staff involved and the employees within the school. Now, a school administrator oversees the administrative tasks in school, colleges, or other educational systems. What does they do? What do they do? The duties of school administrator may vary depending on the types of school they work in. For example, school administrator in small daycare centers, where they may be the only member of the administration team, have different scope of responsibility than at a large college. You understand? It depends on the type of school they work in. Now, we have different types of school administrator. In a daycare, we have headmaster, or in a primary section like the kindergarten, we have the head teacher or headmaster, we have or headmistress, we have the head teacher and all that. In a secondary school, we have the principal, we have the vice principal, we have the head teacher, we have departmental head, HOD of different departments. They are also the school administrator. So it depends on the type of school they work in. Generally, school administrator manages or manage budgets. They handle logistics and act as a point of reference for everyone in the school. In the sense that if any of the staff needed an assistant, the school administrator is there as a point of reference. In times of sickness or anything, the school administrator is one that will contact the parent of the child, you understand, or take the child to the hospital, or unless if they have a clinic within the school. So the school administrator manages the budget, handles the logistics, and acts as a point of reference for everyone within the school. Now let's also look at the responsibility of a school administrator. I explained earlier on and I gave example of who a school administrator is. Now let's look at the responsibility of a school administrator. He is there to coordinate all administrative processes, like giving out interviews for prospects or for intended teachers, selecting the best teachers to take different subjects. We also manage budgets, policies, and events. There are different events in the school. There are different policy. There are different budgets. In some schools, they have welfare package for their staff, for their teachers. It's the same administrator that will be in charge of this. It helps also to resolve conflicts or issues that may occur within the school premises or within the school. Conflicts as a result between staff, conflicts between the students, everything centered on the school administrator. He is just there as a point of reference for any issue that might occur within the school. Let's look at the 5 key responsibilities or the key responsibilities of a school administrator. Now, a school administrator is to shape the vision or the academic success for all students. Is supposed to shape the vision of the school. Now, what the school intended to achieve, you understand, as regarding the success of all the students. Creating a climate hospitable to education. Now, a convenient or suitable environment for education. You should create a climate that will be suitable for impacting knowledge, for impacting skills, and for learning. It should cultivate leadership skills, you understand, because he's being seen as a leader. Even the school or the student sees the administrator as either a father or a mother, a parental figure within the school. So a school administrator is to cultivate leadership skills to enable him carry out all his administrative work or processes. Now, a school administrator manages the people, the data, and the processes, improving school leadership. Then additional reading. Now, if there's any other, sorry, this is not part of it. It's not part of it. Now, there are 5 key responsibilities: shaping a vision of academic success for all students, creating a climate hospitable to education, cultivating leadership in others and in himself as well. Now, a profile in leadership. You should have a good profile in leadership. Is there to manage people, data, and processes, improving school leadership. Now, let's look at other responsibility or qualities of a school administrator. The school administrator, they are capable of planning. They are planners, in short. They possess good judgment and skills in handling relationships or relation with various people. That's the staff, the parent, the students, the regulatory bodies, and the public. Now, a great school administrator also has an attention to details and conflict management skills, how to manage conflicts that might come up within the course, within the school, or within the staff, within the students, and all that. So it should have a detail and conflict management skill, which is very, very important and paramount. Now let's look at the educational system in Nigeria, the education in Nigeria. Now, the education in Nigeria is overseen by the Ministry of Education. The local authorities, they take responsibility for implementing the state control policy regarding public schools and state schools. There are different policies regarding public schools and state schools. There are rules and regulations. There are demands to be met. There are demands to be met, things to be met up before a school can be approved by the Ministry of Education. Now, the educational system of Nigeria is divided into 4: the kindergarten, the primary education, the secondary education, and tertiary education. Nigeria central government has been dominated by instability since declaring independence from Britain. Now, one of the issues with Nigeria educational system, especially for the public education, is because they don't care if the school is being managed well. They don't care about the affairs of the students. All what they look at is they focus more on the private schools. They want the private schools. They want the private schools to meet up with their specifications. And the secondary schools and the public schools are there without chairs for students to sit down. Especially all this happen mostly in the northern areas. You go to a school, the pupil cannot speak good English. They cannot even speak English. The environment is not conducive for learning. So these are one of the problems we have in the educational system of Nigeria, because Nigeria possesses the largest population of out of school learning youth. We have students that are supposed to be in school and they are not there because they can't afford to take the private schools, to go to the private schools, and they are not interested in the public school as well because of the way the school is being managed. Let's look at leadership. What is leadership? What type of leadership do we have? Leadership styles do we have in our schools? Now, the concept of leadership carries many different connotations, such as power, authority, management, administration, and supervision. Now, leadership has to do with authority, supervision, power, management, and administration. It can also be defined as a process in which an individual influences a group of individuals to achieve a common goal. You understand? In school, leadership is very, very important in the Nigeria educational system because the type of leadership in a school will determine how good or how effective the school processes will be, because a leader is there to manage, to give authorities, to exercise power over individuals that are under him. That's why we define leadership as a process in which an individual influences a group of individuals. Leadership can also be defined as the use of power to influence the thoughts and actions of other people. There are ways we exercise authorities over people. You understand? And there are different forms of leadership. Now, leaders are able to direct. Leaders are there to direct, to guide, to influence or control the thoughts, the feelings, and actions of individuals, or to achieve the organizational goal. Every organization has its own goals. They have the goals, they have their objectives. So every leader within the organization is there to guide the people towards achieving the organizational goal. It will shape the behavior of the individual, shape the feelings and actions of the individual, control the thoughts of the individual to achieve the organizational goal. Now, in every organization, there is always a stated goals and objectives. You understand? Before you get into any or start a job with any organization, you should know the goals of the organization. It will be given to you. You understand? You will know the policy of the organization, you will know the rules and regulations guiding your conduct within the organization. In the content of a school, a leadership influences groups such as teachers, the students, the community, the policy makers towards achieving the institutional goal. Now, a leader in a school will help or will influence the teachers, the students, the community where the school is sited, the policy makers towards achieving the institutional goal. A goal must be stated before setting up an institution. At the process of setting up an institution, they will write their institutional goals, their objectives, what they want to achieve. You understand? So a leader is there to achieve all these goals. Now let's look at the leadership style. The leadership style of a school head plays an important role in effective school administration. Now, let me go back to leadership. Now, this leadership, we explained that the leader should direct, guide, influence, or control the thoughts, the feelings, and actions of people to achieve its goals. Now, who are those in charge of leadership within the institution, within the educational institution? The leadership, they are the school administrator. They are the school administrator. Now, let's go back to leadership styles. Now, leadership styles of school ed plays an important role in effective school administration. A leadership style bears in mind the organizational goal. It helps or geared towards achieving the organizational goal. A leadership style can also be defined as a set of activities or leadership activities that influences subordinates or individuals to achieve the organizational goal. There are different leadership styles that can be used in the school. We have the autocratic style, the democratic style, the laissez-faire style of leadership within the school. One of the key factors influencing school effectiveness in the nature and quality of the leadership style is the nature and quality of the leadership style provided by the school. Hence, the leadership style is a critical factor. It's very, very important. You should look at the environment, the type of people you are dealing with before you choose a leadership style. So the school need effective leadership style to achieve their target, to achieve their goal. The autocratic leadership makes decision, or leaders make decision on their own without consulting others. That's the head of the school. He makes decision on its own without consulting others. This style is effective if there is no need for others to contribute to decision making, and when motivation is not a critical factor in implementing of decision. Now, that is this leadership style, that's the autocratic leadership style, can fail when the staff, the student, they are not motivated. The leader and the head of the school can just come up with any decision without consulting others. You understand? So the autocratic leadership style involves the head administrating the school virtually by decree, as children, staff, and parents often abandon autocratic health. Now, this type of style is not as effective, is not always effective, in the sense that the staff, the school, the parents can easily abandon the school. Why? Because they are not carried along during the decision making. Every parent will want to know the decision taken by the school before enforcement of such decision. Hence, a PTA meeting is supposed to be called, where the decision or the management will bring out a suggestion to be decided by the party. But this style is a different style. It doesn't involve any parents, any teachers, or whatsoever. It's solely based on the head of the school. That's why we call it autocratic leadership. Now let's move on. This type of leader was considered successful in educated society. You understand? But schools are made up of educated people. Now, the style is successful in uneducated society. That is society where the parents are not educated. So they don't believe they can contribute their own views to the improvement of the school. They are not educated. So they only want the school to take a decision and they will follow it. But schools are made up of educated people. That's why this type of leadership can fail, easily fail. Let's move to the second one, the democratic leadership. The democratic leaders involved people or the students, the parents, the staff in decision making. However, the democratic leadership or leaders may have difficult when option differs widely, as in when decision is being passed across in an open letter to the student, to the parents, the staff, especially to the PTA meeting. You see everybody bringing in different thoughts, different opinion. Everybody will be coming up with their different opinion. You have professors, you have doctors among the PTA staff, so you will see conflicts of interest. The democratic style of leadership includes administration by consensus through consultation with the staff, with the parents and heads, informed decision because of the experience and wisdom of other professionals in and outside the organization. The essence of this type of leadership is that they want to hear the leader wants people to comment, wants people to bring their opinion about a decision before a general decision can be given, will be made. So this head involves staffs guiding the school development. All members of the school, including students and staff, have an input in the running and welfare of the school. The students as well will be mobilized. They can ask the students to bring in their suggestion about a particular thing and submit their decision or their suggestion to the management. So all members of the school, including the staff and the students, have a say in the welfare of the school. So subordinates find pleasure and satisfaction in working with this type of leadership rather than under the type of leadership that the sole decision is coming from the head. Imaginative school head should mobilize the knowledge and expertise of all teachers to bring real development in the school. In this type of leadership, the school tends to develop more because everybody is there to bring out suggestion, to bring out or use their skills in the development of the school. In most schools, the head tends to pull in one direction, while the rest of the teachers pull in another direction. In such cases, the administrative system becomes inefficient and the school and the teaching and learning process ineffective. This is one of the disadvantages of democratic leadership. Now, the head has something in mind. He pulls to a direction while the teachers pulls in another direction. You understand? So there's going to be a conflict between the two parties. You understand? Which can become or which can make the administrative system becomes inefficient and the teaching and learning process ineffective. Let's move to the last one. That's the laissez-faire leadership style. This leadership style involves minimum decision making from the head. They allow the staff to make all the decisions. The staff is responsible for the outcome of their decision. So these leaders are successful when the people they lead are capable and motivated. They are only successful when they know that when the people under them are capable, the staff are capable and motivated. In the context of a school, the head will let things happen virtually by themselves. The head does not initiate new innovations, nor does the staff learn from their examples. So the school operates on the momentum of the staff, and the head is reluctant to interfere in the ways things are run. Now, there is no clear and definite policy to guide all those involved in the life of the institution. Now, in all this leadership style, there are problems attached to. There's no one that is perfect, so to say. The laissez-faire leadership styles leave every decision making to the staff. You understand? But it's more effective if the staff are capable. You understand? And they are motivated. They are always motivated. You understand? So when the staff is motivated, they tend to work or bring in their skills to help in the development of the school. So the head does not initiate new innovation. So the head is not seen as the most respected staff of the school or administrator. It's only the staff that is respected, and they are the decision making within the school. So there's no clear and definite policy to guide all those involved in the life of the school. This is one of the disadvantage of laissez-faire leadership style. Now let me go through the slide again. We talk about the management, which is the social process which is designed to ensure cooperation, participation, intervention within an organization. And it's also the process of planning, organizing, directing, controlling, and evaluating to accomplish an objective. So there is always an objective to be achieved in management, in any form of management. But the educational management is just concerned with the operation of educational organization. So it's the process of planning, organizing, directing activities in a school effectively utilizing human and material resources. Now we've talked about the scope of educational system. We talk about administration, that's the coordinating the human and material resources to achieve the stipulated goals of the organization. We also talk about who is an administrator. They are the head in the school. The director of a school can be part of a school administrator, the principal, the vice principal, the deputy director, and the likes. They are part of a school administrator, and what they do depend on the type of school they work in. You understand? The school administrator of a daycare is different from what you find in large colleges. So they manage budgets, they handle logistics, and act as a point of reference for everybody within the school. We've talked about the key responsibilities of school administrator. We also talk about the qualities of a school administrator. We talk about the education in Nigeria, how it's being seen. And finally, we discuss about the leadership, what leadership is all about, the leadership styles or skills in the school. Now, this is your assignment. Hope you can see it clearly. How do we incorporate extension education into industrial to curb down environmental hazard, especially in the developing countries? What do you think of educational system? Do you think it's a tool for helping people or to control people? Now, this assignment is to be submitted latest on Friday, 24th April, via my email. Thank you for participating in the class. My name remains Mrs. Ruth Alao. I will be meeting you in our next class on next week, Tuesday. Thank you.
Hello, are you done with the class?
Yes, sir, I'm done with the class.
Okay. Thank you. So that brings us to the end of the class.
Sir?
Okay, that brings us to the end of the class then.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, for this.